Boy, do I have a show for you guys today. It's Friday. Happy Friday to y'all. September 27th, getting close to the end of the month. We got a lot going on every day with your markets. Today, though, it's the C team on staff. Connor B, he's out working. Tommy G, he's out working. He is in the background there. We'll probably hear his voice, but we got Brady Huck here today for you. I got some stuff for you. We'll talk about markets, macro markets. We've got some reports coming out, big trades overnight. Let's run through the current board, though, and go on down to LaSalle Street and tell you where the board's at now. So looking at corn, we are decent corn up 3/4 of a cent. No beans up 5 cents. Chicago wheat down 8.5. KC wheat down 8. When we look at feeders, November feeder cattle up $1.80. October up 97.5. Fat cattle are up 60 to 80 points. Lean hogs are mixed, kind of 2.5 cents higher in October and 12.5 lower in December. Jumping over, let's look at crude. Crude's down 28 cents. Diesel down 2. Nat gas up 10 cents. Looking at the Dow, 192, up 192. The S&P up 7.5. And the NASDAQ has been on both sides, trading down 2.5 cents, 2.5 right now. Markets are moving. Let's dive into the show here today. Tommy G, are you in the background? Can you
I,
hear me?
I hear you. I am. Yeah.
You sounding good.
Thank you. I tell you, I went to bed early last night, but I got hooked into watching that Ryan Hall y'all
Yeah.
YouTube. That kid, that video he did. He went live for 11 hours, which it's just incredible I would rather watch him than the Weather Channel. So my parents said, "Why don't you put on the Weather Channel?" And I said, "Well, there's commercials and." It's one of those agendas, like where the weather people are shaking,
Yeah.
pretend they're holding on for dear life, and then
Oh,
someone
yeah.
walks
Gosh.
by in the background.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But this kid's good, and he is changing media. I would rather watch Ryan Hall, y'all, on weather than the Weather Channel, and I
I
think that
enjoyed
says something.
Yeah, I enjoy those shows too. It's just I feel like you actually learn something, like you're having a conversation almost. He's talking to you specifically versus broadcasting a story or spin room type deal and sensationalism to actually teaching you something and
Yeah,
telling you
and
what's going on.
I feel like he cares. Because when these storms come, this hurricane, all these little tornadoes break out north, south, east, and west of them before, after, during. It's wild to see that much energy. But where I'm sitting in Northwest Indiana, it just got gray, it
Okay.
just got windy, and we are at the very, very tip of that weather. And it's going to be interesting to see how much it delays harvest here in the ice states. And of course, it could. I don't know if you have a cotton quote, but it could have done some damage to cotton. It could flood some hog barns. It could do some damage. The state of Georgia is getting hit pretty hard. So with that, real quick, Mick Care explained to me that when you have this much of a weather mass come in, and say it's kind of right in the middle of the Mississippi River's the dividing line,
Yeah.
that it's keeping all the other areas in good weather. So good weather for harvest in Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota. It's keeping all the bad weather away from them and keeping temperatures abnormally high. And so it's like an east versus west type of storm. Just fascinating how weather affects people and markets and etc.
Yeah, they still need a little heat units to finish that crop out up in the northwestern corn belt, the Dakotas. Is that right, Tommy? We could use
Yeah,
a little.
they will take the heat. Looks like they're almost complaining like they want to harvest their beans, but they still have green
Mhm.
beans, but yeah, they're kind of mixed emotions. But the crop will finish in North Dakota. There was no frost killing event. And, for people who are saying yields are down a little bit in Illinois, they're going
Mhm.
to make up for it in the part of Minnesota that got planted timely, North Dakota, South Dakota. They are having tremendous yields up there, and they're being blessed with this business coming right out of China. And so they didn't get hit on the basis didn't get as wide as you'd think, because there's bids out there on the PNW. So just a perfect situation. Perfect, that's not the right word. A nice situation for harvest where you get a dollar rally in beans. You
Yeah.
can sell your beans off the combine, and we can go re-own them in some fashion.
Yep. Good time. It's nice when all the stars align and come together. Unfortunately, they don't do that everywhere for everyone, but sometimes when it happens in your area, that's good to see. Let's roll through some headlines here, Tommy. Um, First off, brace yourself. We have a flash sale of 20,000 metric tons of soybean oil to South Korea. Brace yourself. That's probably shaking up the markets here today. I don't know. I don't get a whole like real excited about soybean oil export sales, export flashes, but it's nonetheless it's good to see on the board there. Next headline we got USDA reports on Monday. Got a quarterly grain stocks report and then the annual small grains summary. Those can be market moving reports. I've got some graphics up there that kind of highlight the change that we typically see in those reports. This is looking at corn change on report day. And we see some, 8 to 10 to 12 cent down last year. It was 17 cents higher in 2019. So that can move the markets and shake things up. With the recent volatility that we've had the last few years, though, and the market moves that we've seen, those numbers, 10-cent move in corn doesn't seem like a whole lot, but we'd sure take a 10-cent rally here if we could get it on Monday. Looking at beans, 26 cents lower in 23, 46 cents lower in 22. Looking at 20, we saw a 30-cent pop in the bean market. Would love to see that again. The wheat market, we see similar shakeups. It was 37 cents lower last year, 25 cents higher in 22. So report day coming Monday. That's basically tomorrow for us in the marketing world because this is a Friday trade and we don't trade again until Monday. But any comments on? I guess PJ had blast out this morning about a big overnight trade that we saw in corn. Maybe some pre-report positioning or protecting the rally. Well, he's got 12,000 no $4 corn puts traded overnight. I think that's up to 15 or 16,000 of these November $4 corn puts trading at a little over 3.5, 3 3/4 of a cent. Tommy, you got some color or insight into that? What do you think of that, Tommy?
I think for uh, the risk reward sounds right. We're at harvest. There could be harvest pressure. We're going to be at the gut slot of harvest next, well, real close to gut slot of harvest next week. The I'm not afraid to lose 4 cents to have the downside covered and have 100% of the upside. I don't even farm, and I like that trade. Now, I'll be curious to see. I got to talk to PJ. Is that someone exiting, entering, this, that, everything else? But just from a risk reward, no, November options expire in October. Um, and that'll get you through this report and harvest. It's fine. If someone's really bullish, but they're a little worried that we could be down 12, 14 cents on this report, that works out really, really well.
Nice
So
little insurance policy to get you some coverage here through harvest so you can focus on the job in the field and maybe not get so hung up on where these markets are moving and
yeah,
what's happening.
real
I'm
quick.
going to flash up another graphic here, Tommy, looking at corn volatility and really low volatility in the corn market. I think we got 6-month lows, corn vol trading at a 6-month low. And this just illustrates where that's at, makes options cheap, options inexpensive, like those November options, little cheap little insurance policies to own and defend your decisions as you make them when volatility is this low.
Yeah, I guess the analogy I would give, I know you guys like analogies. There's a really good chance you won't wreck your car if it's parked in your garage. And so corn looks to be parked in the garage. Now, you could have a tree out front fall through your house on your car. We've seen that. I mean, it's probably happening in Florida and Georgia right now. But the chance of you getting in an accident in corn, of corn going up 50 or down 50, is limited. And that when we look at what's a call 30 cents above the market, what's a put 30 cents below the market, they're not very expensive. It also means we may not go there. That's why uh, corn, wheat, and beans are doing what they're doing. But listen, show's yours, buddy. You the man. You don't need me. I'm with my mom and dad, and I'm going to take them out to breakfast. And dad just had a little procedure on his eye,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get them packed in the station wagon. Show's yours.
Okay.
Kick some butt, take some names, tell everyone hi. See you
Thanks
soon.
thanks for jumping in and good luck, speedy recovery to your dad,
You
Tommy.
bud.
See ya. Jumping over here, we got Dees corn and Nove beans, highest trade yesterday since late July. Yet both of them closed lower yesterday. So interesting price action yesterday, interesting price action today. These markets they're popping and then they're dropping. But it was good to see them both, Dees corn and Nove beans, break out, to kind of recent highs, month highs for September. But I wish we would have held on to them. So a little green on the screen here today. Another headline we got: CME Group's Fed Watch. Markets are moving here on looking at interest rates. The Fed Watch is a good tool you can go look at and see what's the market building in for anticipated interest rate changes. And the chances of a half point cut actually broke from 60% down to 47%. So markets may be looking at less rate cuts. Are we going to get as strong a rate cut going forward for the rest of the year? The market's kind of pricing in that we won't see those going forward here. Jumping over to cattle, it's kind of our last headline we got here. Choice box beef was lower yesterday. It's another day of week-to-week declines on the choice cutout. Yet cash cattle traded higher, $2 higher in the south and $4 higher in the north. On the beef exports, though, export sales are down 34% lower than the previous 4-week average. So some conflicting data there. I think the packers may be trying to buy some stuff up front, but some uncertainty on demand going forward. And that's got to be on the back of every cattleman's mind, every cowboy's mind, especially after we've seen the price rally that we've seen here of late. So I think I'm going to let you guys go here. It's a quick show. Appreciate you. We're going to talk premium first. I need to talk premium. Yesterday, Tommy did premium with Tony St. James. Good episode out there. Market Day Report. Today, we've got Mick Kerr with weather on tap for you. We're also going to send out, Tommy did a sit down with Vance Crowe on the Ag Tribes podcast. And that's going to be a special one that gets sent out to you. Make sure you tune into those. And we'll, of course, have the week recap with Don Wick coming out for you as well. Next week, we want to talk yield. So keep some notes on how things are looking in the field as harvest over the weekend. We wish you all a safe harvest. And we'll tune in next week. Bring some yield reports for us because we want to know how things progressed over the weekend. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm out of here. Joe, let's take it out.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.